Today we're going to take some shapes made out of paper and turn them into forms. I'm going to show you how to make a cylinder, how to make a pyramid, how to make a cube, and sort of a rectangular prism. And then once you learn how to make those shapes, what you do with them is going to be up to you. So to get started, I'm going to ask you to just get one piece of construction paper that is 9 by 12, any color you want. You're going to fold it hamburger style. Try to get it nice and straight. Crease those edges, fold it hamburger style again, and this is going to give you 4 pieces that are the same size. So once I have those edges creased, I can even leave it folded in half while I cut it. So I now have 4 rectangles. 3 of those I'm going to turn into a cylinder. So it's a little bit easier if you roll it first to kind of get the paper going in that direction. So I'm going to roll this up a little bit. And then when I open it up, you see how it already is curving? Notice that I rolled it the short way. I took the short side and I rolled that around. If you roll the long side, you can still do it. It's just a little bit more difficult. So I rolled it the short way all the way around. I'm going to use a paintbrush with glue and put just a teeny tiny bit of glue. Less glue dries a lot faster than a big old clump of glue. So a skinny line of glue. I'm going to show you a trick also. Sometimes if you get too much glue, what you can do is steal it for one of your other pieces. So I'm going to leave that one there and just use the leftover glue. Now it's nice and thin. Put those 2 sides together, hold it, count to 30. I'm going to probably rub it on the table a little bit, but it takes about 30 seconds to get this to really stick. After 30 seconds, if it doesn't stick, it's likely that either you used too much glue or not enough glue, or that you just didn't hold it long enough. All right, so there's one cylinder, and I'm gonna, again, put this on fast forward while I make my other cylinders, so you don't have to just sit here and watch me roll and glue paper. Okay, so while those, I'm gonna give them a little time to dry, and while they're drying, I'm gonna show you how to make a cone. So we've got some circle tracers, and notice how it doesn't quite fit. It hangs off this side just a little bit. That's okay. Don't put it in the middle. Let one side hang off just a little bit because we're going to turn this into sort of a Pac-Man shape. So I'm going to trace my circle, and to help you guys out, I put holes in the lids of these tracers. But if you're not doing this in the classroom, you just have to kind of guess where the center is, and it's going to work. So from the center of that shape, I'm going to draw lines out to the edge where it goes off the paper, and there is my Pac-Man shape. So once I've got my Pac-Man shape, I'm going to cut them out. Just follow the lines. All right, so now I've got Pac-Man, and all I'm going to do is take these 2 short sides and overlap them a little bit, and it makes a cone. Sometimes the bottom of your cone's not going to match up perfectly, and that's okay. After you glue it, you can just give it a little trim. This cone can be a wide cone, or you can roll it really tight and make a skinnier cone. It kind of depends on what you want to do with it later. But I'm going to take a little drop of glue and let my cone set up now while I go back to working with those cylinders. All right, so my cone is all set, and I'm going to go back to my cylinders. Now, if I just, one of these, if you want to keep it a cylinder, that is totally fine. But what I do want to do is show you how to take it and turn it into one of these sort of rectangular prisms. So what I'm going to do is take my cylinder and squash it. I'm going to fold it in half, and I'm going to crease the edges. Now, for some reason, you had something and you wanted to make kind of like an eyeball shape. That shape already is pretty cool, but I want to make this one into really like a square tube. So when I scrunch it this way, I'm going to try to get that fold to line up with the other fold. And I'm going to press it down and crease it. And you see how this little extra piece that is kind of sticking out? Either I can trim it off or I can just try to fold it over. All right, and now look how I have made a square. So same idea, I'm going to take another one of these and show you how to make a rectangle. So when you fold it in half the first time, you're just going to press it down and fold it in half. But this time, instead of making those 2 corners line up like we did for the square, I'm going to fold it off center just a little bit. Press it down, make a crease, and see how I just turned that into a rectangle? this is going to come in handy because I actually kind of know where this project is headed. But so now I've got a square, a rectangle. I'm going to show you how to make a triangle. So for a triangle, it's a little bit harder, but you can do it. What you're going to do, instead of folding it flat, you're going to pinch it in one space, one spot, and kind of crease that all the way down without folding the other spots. And then you sort of fluff it up a little bit, decide where you want the other corners to be. And then I'm going to do one at a time. I'm going to fold it straight down the edge, go over here, fold my third side, and there, now I have a tube that is in the shape of a triangle. This could be a cool roof for a house. Like if you had a triangle like this on top of like a square that was a different color, that'd be pretty cool. So now back to my cone. So right now it's round, but same idea. If I could make it like a pyramid and fold it like a triangle, or I happen to know that I want to use it for the roof of this tube. And it's square, and it's kind of tough to glue a circle together with a square. So what I can do is, just like with when I took that cylinder, I'm going to take this and fold it in half, crease those edges, open it up, and when I fold it in half, I'm going to try to make them line up again. And so now I've got a pyramid shape that has 4 sides, just like the piece that I want to glue it onto. But again, this still is not super easy to glue because my glue has nothing to hold onto. So what I need to do is make some tabs. On each corner of this square kind of prism tube, I make a little cut, and I'm going to fold it out. Now these tabs could either be used to make my building stand up on something, or they could be used to hold something on top. And for this, I'm going to use it to hold something on top. So I'm going to grab a little bit of glue, put some on each of those tabs, and this takes a little bit more time to hold together. So once I get them in there, I'm going to try to make sure they're straight, and I'm going to hold 2 sides and count to 30, and then I'm going to hold the other 2 sides and count to 30, and I'm going to hope that this whole thing sticks together. All right, pretty cool. So now your job is to imagine what you could make with that. It could be a tower of a castle. It could be a mushroom. It could be a rocket ship. Whatever it is that you want to take these shapes and put them together to make a sculpture, that's going to be up to you. I was thinking of kind of going this direction and making a castle. The one challenge I have for you today is to not show any pencil lines. I even made like a little mistake right there. I'm going to let that one go, but I'm not going to draw my windows and doors. If I want windows and doors, I'm going to cut them out of paper and I'm going to glue them on. So no pencil lines, no marker lines, no crayon lines. We're going to try to do this whole thing just with construction paper. So it's like a collage, but we're making it 3-dimensional and we're adding form. All right, I'm excited to see what you guys come up with.